can't, but it must be too dark. Why is it so dark? Sorry, I'm completely not prepared. Oh. Woo. Lions TV. Oh my God. I feel horrendous and I've just realised that I look worse than I feel. Can you hear me clearly? Are we all good? My God, it's hot in here. I've got under the window, sorry. Let's try again. Jesus Christ, there's 71 people watching. So I'll do a post-match analysis of Saturday's game, and then might do a few questions, but I mainly just want to do the show, but I haven't had time to edit it today. Should we just say that? I haven't had time to do it, or I physically couldn't move off the sofa to do it. Whichever answer you want to take. Right, let's go. Lions TV. We are sponsored by Regal Elevators and Lifts Consultants Limited, a company that is owned and operated by a Millwall fan, just like every single one of the sponsors that you can't see around me because we're live. Oops. If you are going to do a bit of business, then keep it in the Millwall family. Check out all of our sponsors' website links in the description below. They're all Millwall fans and they're all looking to do business. This is your post-match analysis video for Saturday's win over Stoke at the Den, 2-0. Gary the Gaffer, the Rowett Revolution has begun. And it was a good start. It was a very good start. It was pleasing to see. Let's start out by taking a look at the starting 11 that started the match. I can't show you obviously on the screen because, as I said, we are live and I do not have the tactical nous, I was going to say. I don't have the know-how to get stuff on the screen whilst live, sorry. I might look into that one day. I think I need someone on the other side operating the cameras in that purpose. The other side of the camera at the minute just looks like a fucking bombs at it, so no help on that front. But the starting 11 that Gary Rowett picked, was I surprised of it? Not really. Was I pleased with it? Yeah, I was pleased with it. I was pleased with it. And looking at Rowett's start and the way we played and on the pitch and the formation and the lineup, it just going back to Neil Harris. And I know we say we won't go back to Neil Harris, but 4 years as the manager of our club, we're always going to refer back to it because that's our only point of reference from Gary Rowett since the channel started. So it just Saturday was good. It was good. I'm not putting it down on it at all. But we just did the simple things very well. We just went back to basics. The starting 11 was, get onto that, sorry, Bolkowski in goal, Marlon Romeo right back, Sean Hutchinson and Jake Cooper centre halves, Murray Wallace left back, Shane Ferguson left mid, Sean Williams, Ben Thompson and Malumbi, central midfield three with Ben Thompson further forward. Obviously, Jeb Wallace on the right. And up front, the Bradshaw didn't score a goal. What went on there? What happened? What's wrong? He didn't score. But was that a starting 11 I was pleased with? Yes, it was a starting 11 I was pleased with. Was that a starting 11 I would have gone with? Other than I would have played Mahoney instead of Ferguson. And there's nothing against Ferguson, but he's okay for us at this level. He's handy to have around. Left back, left midfielder. Done all right Saturday, but he hasn't got any tricks or any confidence to take players on. So that's what he does. He runs up the pitch and he just cuts back. Then he tries to nick a yard, then he cuts back, or he just cuts back and passes it back. He's got a good delivery, but he hasn't got the ability to get beyond players, to get crosses in. So, but look, he's not a bad squad player, Fergie. I've not always been his biggest fan down the years. But he's all right for a squad player. I just think Conor Mahoney now has obviously he got half an hour. Conor Mahoney came on for Shane Ferguson with 30 minutes left, and he didn't set the world alight. But obviously, he's just getting back into the swing of things. I did notice with Mahoney tweeting about it on Twitter after we'd won, and also he looked quite involved on the pitch. The club put a video out on social media, and he was right involved at the end. Looked happy. Looks like he wants to be there. So yeah, that starting 11 was good, and with Mahoney in instead of Ferguson, it's pretty much our best 11, I would say, other than maybe a man who I've not been most favourable towards lately, which is Marlon Romeo. But Marlon was like a different player, like a man transformed. And again, back to basics. And we needed a new manager. We needed that change. And I will say again, Neil Harris scored some very good and a lot of goals at this club as a player. Neil Harris did a very good job as our manager. But one of the biggest things you've got to give Neil Harris the utmost respect for is for walking away when he did. Because that can't have been easy to do for him. He couldn't have probably wanted to walk away. But to walk away when he did, and you can see the instant change, the players just they just rejuvenated. So not just Marlon Romeo, a lot of them just look like new men rejuvenated. And you have to take your hat off to Harris for walking away when he did, because he could have left it, it could have got toxic, and it just shows that the players needed that change as well. As I said, Marlon Romeo was a player rejuvenated. I thought he was one of our best players. Marlon could have been Marlon for man of the match Saturday. Could have been Williams. Could have been Malumbi. Could have been Jed. Could have been Tomo. Am I missing anyone out? Some very strong performances, and the players again just look confident. Just look being back to how they used to be under Harris, when Harris was doing things were doing well under Harris. The game starts out, and we just. I really, as I said in my post match at Cardiff on Tuesday, I made a couple of bad calls on Bulkowski, because I got so disheartened with it. I wasn't really watching the last few games. Yeah, I'm going, and I'm one of these people. I'll go to football. I won't really drink. I will sit and watch every kick, and really take the game in. Some people go to football. They just like going to piss. They ain't fuss about watching the game. They spend half the time down the bar. It's just a social thing, which is fine. Both ways are fine. I ain't got a problem with either one. But I'm one of those people. I won't even go piss during the game. I will wait. Sorry for that crudeness, but I won't go to the toilet during the game. I have to till half time. It's very rare I miss a goal. I never leave before an end. So that when I made them bad calls on Bulkowski, it's because I just lost heart with it. I just lost heart with it. I was having a chat with people down at the bar. As I said, I missed a couple of goals, even though it's Leeds. I had enough. And Saturday, I was back on the edge of my seat. It was good to see. We started the game out. We was, as I said, just kept the ball very well. Just done the simple things very well. Retained the ball. Mini-me was obviously used to come Millwall when he was sort of 3, 4 and 5. And I was obviously split up from his mum, and I only ever had him sort of every other weekend. So you look like I smell of piss. Cheers, mate. It's what was I saying? Yes, so Mini-me sort of only ever really seen the last 4 years, the Neil Harris era. The centre-halves were getting the ball, sharing it to the right back. Right back's giving it back to Hutchinson. Hutchinson's giving it back to Romeo. Mini-me says, what's going on? He's expecting usually one touch, bang. I said, well, no, they're just keeping the ball. We're just retaining the ball, looking for an option. If there's not an option on, we give it sideways. We come back, work across the pitch, and look for options. And it was refreshing to see. Just kept the ball well. We was high pressing when we didn't have the ball, winning the ball back, doing the right things, and it was just. I agree with what Kenny said in his fan cam. It wasn't. And Kenny's not the most positive man always at football, but I agree with what he said Saturday. Yes, it was very good. It was a good start. We wasn't amazing. We just did the simple things very, very well. It was good. It was very good. The first goal came not long before half time. Jed Wallace runs down the wing. 8 Days had a little pop at me about that one on his Twitter. Said, unfortunately, Jed Wallace couldn't cross the ball. Jed Wallace was brilliant against, as I said, another man rejuvenated. His pace and energy and his commitment, you can never ever question. Just sometimes his deliveries aren't fantastic. That's unfortunately my opinion. But he gets it absolutely spot on, crossing to the box. And Thompson's goal reminded me a little bit like Tom Bradshaw's goal at Leeds, home to Leeds. Sort of stuck his foot out, and you couldn't really work it. Like it sort of just seems to get a lot of power on it out of nowhere. And Thompson scores the first goal under the Gary Rowett era and puts us 1-0 up. And then obviously in the second half, the penalty, Jed Wallace, brilliant pace from Jed, brilliant energy. One of the most blatant penalties you'll ever see in your life. Absolutely gets chopped down. Jed Wallace gets up to convert the penalty, and someone rightly said to me after the game, why has Jed Wallace not been our penalty taker this whole time? I think, is that 4 penalties he's got this season, Jed? I think it could be 4 penalties he's got. I think it is. I think it's 4 penalties. So Yeah, why has he not been our penalty taker the whole time? Very, very confident. His penalties have got better as they've gone on this season, haven't they? The one down the middle against Real Sociedad dribbled in. The second one, I think, was also down the middle against not Preston, Sheffield Wednesday, was it? Maybe. And then the last two, the one against Leeds and Saturday's one, superb penalties. And well done to Joe O'Mara, called it 2-0, and he called Ben Thompson first goal as well. I think I called Jed Wallace to get the to maybe score a penalty again. So I'll take a little bit of credit for that. Let's go through the team of the players who played well. Bulkowski, for as good as we was Saturday and as well as we did and got the job done, very drilled, very professional and confident performance. Stoke was shit. Stoke were bad. They're a bad side, and I'm not surprised they're banging trouble. Surprisingly, won 2 of their last 3 before coming to the Den on Saturday, and they were against Swansea and Fulham. Swansea are right up there. Fulham, obviously, as we know, a good side. Don't think won a game since I said put your mortgage on them at Fulham. So it shows what I know when we played them at Craven Cottage. But yeah, Bulkowski, on the back of what I just said there about Stoke. Stoke were trying to like play out the back thing like Man City, and they just couldn't do it. It was fucking embarrassing. They were just pumping the ball forward in the end. Didn't get sniffed. Terrible. And on that basis, Bulkowski didn't have a lot to do at all in the game. I don't actually think, was there even a shot on target from Stoke? I don't think there was. Marlon Romeo, as I said, man of the match contender, brilliant. Murray Wallace had a good game. Cut back in on from the left and dinged it on his right. Then he curled one in first half, similar to what Jed Wallace had done about 5 minutes previous to him. And he was unlucky not to get on the score sheet. Big Murray scored a couple last year. Jake Cooper and Hutchinson centre halves. Yes, my favourite pairing. We have. Few people was expecting to see Pearce come back in, and I'm hearing Pearce had quite an influence on Gary Rowett getting a job because obviously they worked at Derby together. But Pearce I wasn't surprised Pearce didn't come back in because obviously under Rowett at Derby, Pearce didn't get a lot of game time as it was. But obviously Derby supposedly a bigger club than us. So coming here, was we expecting Pearce to start under Gary Rowett? Maybe, but I think it was the right decision. Hutchinson and Cooper, and I thought they had a good game. Again, not really tested. And defensively, maybe that's why Marlon Romeo had a good game going forward because he didn't have to do too much defending. Right midfield, Jed, as I said, I just want to see more on the right, on the centre still. On the right, but brilliant from Jed. Set up the first one, then scored the second. I'm not sure who got man of the match actually in the players' lounge after, because it could have been any one of 5 of them. It could have been Jason Malumbi, and I rightly got a little bit of shit after the game because I said on Twitter that send Malumbi back. Why is Malumbi here? And the reason I said that was not because I don't think he's a good player. The reason I said that is because, you know, I think he's a great player. Don't get me wrong, but I think Billy Mitchell is a very similar stature, very similar type of player, very similar mould. But Billy Mitchell is our permanent player. And again, on Saturday, I'm sorry, Matt Smith, Aidan O'Brien, and John Daddy Bavarton on the bench, if I'm not mistaken. All 3 of them. You don't need all 3 of them on the bench. You do not need all 3 of them on the bench. You just don't. I'm sorry. You don't need them 3 on the bench. I said it 3 times. Maybe I should have. Don't know why I said it 3 times, but I have. For me, Billy Mitchell should. Sorry, someone just said I'm clueless. I think get a bit of grief out my tonight. I ain't got the bins on yet. Good job I haven't. I can't see anything. But listen, Malumbi was phenomenal Saturday. Superb, very good player. I'm sure he'll go on to play at a high level, but he will be going back at the end of the season. Now, for me, the reason I said send Malumbi back is again, nothing against. He's a great player. We know that. But Billy Mitchell wasn't even in the squad Saturday, or he's in the 19th man, I think. And we've got 3 strikers on the bench. So at least put Mitchell on the bench, because when Malumbi does go back at the end of the season, and when Sean Williams maybe not be... I mean, listen, I'll get on Sean Williams in a minute, but that's another matter. I thought he was brilliant Saturday. Sean Williams isn't getting any younger. Jason Malumbi's going back at the end of the season. So why is Billy Mitchell not even on the bench there when we've got 3 strikers on the bench? It's just a waste of a sub there. Sorry. For me, as I said, Bradshaw's first try striker, but Vardson's a pick of a bad bunch there, strikers-wise, in my opinion. You don't need them all on the bench. You don't. Matt Smith maybe to come on as an impact sub, but you don't need all 3. So for me, the whole basis of me saying send Malumbi back was because, you know, we're paying his wages and we're developing someone else's player. But you wouldn't want anyone else out there Saturday. He was fucking brilliant, Malumbi. I think he may have got man of the match. For me, it's probably between him or Jed Saturday. Alongside him in midfield, Sean Williams. I think you will now see Sean Williams thrive once again under a Gary Rowett reign. Sean Williams is good, always good in a midfield three for me. You know I like him. I'll get shit for liking him. He is good in the midfield three. He retains the ball very well, and we didn't try to retain the ball under Neil Harris. And Neil Harris, that's not a dig at Harris. Harris will tell you that himself. No teams had a lot of possession against us. They retained the ball against us, and we, in our position, when we had possession, we tried to have minimal possession, but make that possession count under Neil Harris. Quick impact possession, get the ball forward, crash bang wallop, create chances. And I'm not slagging that off at all. But what I'm saying is, things looking like on the back after Gary Rowett only met the players Thursday, only had 2 days of them. And in those 2 days, just, I said, very simple. Professional footballers will know the drill anyway from being at other clubs in their career. Keep the ball. And that looks to me like the way Gary Rowett wants to play, wants to keep the ball. So I think Sean Williams will fit very, very well into the Gary Rowett way, shall we say. And I think you'll see Willow thrive this season in a three-man central midfield. So, yeah, Williams, very good. Malumbi, outstanding. Ben Thompson just in front of them. Back to how he was when he first came back from Pompey and towards the back end of last season. So, again, reflecting on what I said earlier, if you just tuned in about Neil Harris did absolutely the right thing at the right time to buy Walking, and it's generated from the fans, and you can see it on the pitch as well. It wasn't just what I'm trying to get out. I think I'm saying is it wasn't just the fans that looked like they was beginning to realise that we needed to freshen up managerially. Yeah, Ben Thompson, brilliant Saturday again. He could have been a contender for man of the match. He's buzzing. He's everywhere. He went down a couple of times. Looked like he hurt his hip, but I'm hearing he's okay. So all good on that front. Scored the goal. Nearly scored a second, similar to the Sociedad goal. Didn't he? Curler from outside the box. And then Fergie left midfield. Listen, I used to dislike Shane Ferguson as a footballer. Let's just say that. I've never slagged him off personally. I wouldn't slag a player off personally, unless you're Jordan Archer. Has he got a club, by the way? Yeah, I don't think he has. Anyway, Fergie's just listen. Fergie got dropped out of the team for a year or so, come back into the team, and I think that little bit of hunger he had, a little bit of anger, and give him a bit more desire. Where he was in the wilderness for so long, it made him a better player because that was all he's lacking. Technically, Fergie's not a bad player. He just used to lack the fight and desire, in my opinion. But when Harris he was the forgotten man at the club, and he come back in. That little bit in the wilderness gave him that hunger to make him a better player. And now I can cope with Fergie playing. I can deal with it. I said he's technically good. He's got a good delivery. He's got a little bit of pace. Although he runs a little bit funny. Not I'm on the talks. I can't run anymore. But yeah, he's a good squad player for me. And if he plays, it's not a problem. And he did fine Saturday. But I just think we need a bit more. We need. If you look at our right hand side with the energy, and I do slag them both off, Jed and Romeo. But the pace and the energy and the excitement they both bring to the team, you can't deny. And we do predominantly do very well down our right. If you look at our left, Murray Wallace isn't maybe a left back, and Shane Ferguson isn't maybe a left midfielder. Maybe he's more of a left back. I don't know, but we haven't got people powering on there. I think you'd be better with maybe not defensively, but going forward, Fergie at left back because he will get on the overlap and he has got a good cross. If Mahoney's in front of him and Mahoney can unlock the door, or Fergie can get beyond him, then Fergie hasn't got the problem of trying to get beyond players. He's already there, and Mahoney's done the work for Fergie to whip it in. But yeah, Ferguson done fine. But I think in time, Mahoney needs to get back into that. And I think reading between the lines, or the way I've seen it Saturday, him getting half an hour for Fergie. Obviously, he hasn't played any first team football for a while. Mahoney, I don't think he's come on for a while. So. For me, I think Rowett has intentions, and Conor Mahoney is in his way of thinking. I think he's going to use Mahoney, and I think you'll see him start soon. And then up front, Tom Bradshaw. It's good that we was thinking, why hasn't Tom Bradshaw scored today? Because that's where he's at now. He's one of the top scorers in the division. But it's good for us that he hasn't scored, and we've still managed to score 2. Since Neil Harris has left, I think we scored 2 goals in every game. Have we? Have I got that wrong? I think we scored 2 goals in every game since Neil Harris has left. Leeds, yes. Brentford, yes. Cardiff, yes. Yeah, we scored 2 goals in every game since Harris has left. And Saturday, as we said, Tom Bradshaw, our top scorer, our man of the moment, 5 in 5 years now, goal to game ratio, didn't score. So I think that is good. It shows. What am I trying to get at you? It shows we've got other things in other areas that can get us goals. And we score a lot of penalties. We always get a lot of penalties, don't we? The season we came up, we got a lot of penalties. This season, we've already had a lot of penalties. And that's good. That shows we're doing the right things in the right areas, and teams can't cope with that. But that was the team lineup. Again, it was a good performance. It was a professional performance. You expect footballers to be able to do the right things very simply, and we did exactly that. Going forward now, I think we'll do all right. We're doing all right on the table in the division. Again, I'll say it again for the third time. I might be boring people. I'm boring myself. Neil Harris walking away when he did, you cannot take your hat off and thank him enough for that. Brilliant. The brilliant career there at Millwall. Come in, all-time top scorer, went away, come back as a coach. Actually come back as a player, didn't he? But then come away as a coach, into managing the team, got us up, got us into a very good position, built a squad that we can be proud of, give us some great memories, but then walked away at a brilliant time. A brilliant time, because instead of Harris doing the job and then us going boom, 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 Harris did the job, left us there, and now Rowett hasn't got to try and get us from here again. Rowett can just take us forward under Neil Harris. Under Neil Harris, Rowett can just take us forward. Let's just say that. But that's the game. 2-0. Very good. Very impressive start. You will always, of course, have when a new manager comes in. Of course, you'll have that thing where you'll peak. And I did it. It's just human nature. Saturday after the game again, this is brilliant. We're going to make the playoffs. We've got to that level in the first game under Rowett. And as I said, it wasn't amazing. We just did the simple things right, and it was a very, very well managed game. Good game management. The players did the right things on the ball. You know, we never looked in danger of losing. People will say we was 2-0 up. If you know Millwall, it fucking could be 2-0 up in the 86th minute. We proved at fucking Brentford, or the 84th minute, whatever it is. Going forward, I think we'll be fine. If we survive again in this division, it'll be fantastic. If we can hit top 12, something like that, that'll be great. But Rowett, the first game will be there. You'll have to obviously try and maintain them levels now and keep the players motivated, which shouldn't be a problem. And I think it'll be interesting to see what happens goes forward. What is happening, obviously, formation-wise. Because Saturday we played 4-4-1-1. I call it 4-5-1. Some people like to call it a 4-4-1-1. I think that's the formation for us. I think that is the formation for us, home or away, because, as I said before, playing two up front doesn't necessarily mean you're more attacking, more of a threat, or more dangerous. I think it makes us less dangerous with two up front, if that makes sense, because again, no disrespect to anyone. I can handle Bavarsson coming off the bench. He did nice assist for Tom Bradshaw the other day, winning it for the second goal at home at Cardiff. But we haven't got two brilliant strikers. We haven't got two very good strikers. We've got one very good striker and three maybe slightly below average, if I'm honest. Which is a shame, but I think for now, definitely with Tomo just as the one behind Bradshaw is the one for now. So go Reading Saturday, and I'd absolutely go with the same formation. Might be tempted to bring Mahoney in for Fergie, but I'll probably go with the same 11 for now, to be honest with you. And then see where we go from there. I'm confident of a result now. I'm confident. I'm buzzing. I'm looking forward to it already. We usually, obviously, it's not far, is it, Ready? So we take a few up there most seasons. But yeah, looking forward to it going forward. It's all good. The gravy train is back in full swing. I will put my glasses on now. I'm actually scared to put my glasses on because there's loads of comments held review, and one of them, so I could be getting a grief. Someone said, I look like I smell a piss. You fucking ain't wrong, mate. I do smell a piss. I'm absolutely hungover it, Dan. I can't bother to move. Oh, yes. Someone's threatening to kill me. Thank you, mate. Got to laugh, don't you? His fingers must be hurting, this guy. Oh, his thumbs must be hurting. I will fucking kill you. Oh, dear. Put you in a timeout, mate. That do you? Right, let's get to questions, and there is lots of them. Hello. Joe Amara. Hello, Joe. Tommy Selleck. I always see that and think of Tom Selleck. I don't know why. Ken Daly, how you doing, mate? I'm all right. A little bit hungover today. I ain't going to lie to you. Ronnie Temple. Joe, you want this hoodie? Do you want the hoodie instead of the coat, Joe? My God, I look fucking horrendous. Sorry, everyone. Okay. Oh, Brentford are beating QPR, are they? It's just a lot of comments saying a lot of love. A lot of love for me. Love the channel. Love the channel. Look at the fucking state of me. I shouldn't have fucking done this tonight. Roaring Lion. Here we go. Roaring Lion says Junior Tienza for left back. Yeah, he's a good player. I like to watch the under-23s. I think the under-23s are playing tomorrow, actually, against... I think they've got QPR. I think it's at Calmore Road. If it's not, I'll go up to the den tomorrow and watch it. But, yeah, Junior Tienza is a good left back. Very good left back. He obviously played in pre-season a couple of times. Concord Rangers. I didn't go to Concord Rangers, but people were raving about him after that game. He does look like a very good player. Is he ready to come into the first team? Again, this is the thing that I've just said about the forwards. I think under Harris, we wasted a lot of substitutions, players that weren't going to come on. So there's no point having them there. You're best off getting your Billy Mitchells, getting your Junior Tienzias, getting your George Alexanders on the bench. What is the harm in having George Alexander on the bench Saturday instead of AOB or instead of John Daly Bavardson? Right? If Gary Rowett will have all them three on the bench, but he'll know which one he's going to be bringing on. Don't worry about that. So don't then have your Mitchells, have your Alexanders, have your Tiences on the bench. Even if you're not going to even rotate it, just give them one each. Do you know what I mean? If you're not, the manager will know who he's pretty much not going to bring on, depending on how the game's going. He'll have two or three. If things ain't working, we might throw Matt Smith on. If this ain't going right, I might throw another defender on. Whatever. He'll have that in mind. But he will know he's two or three that he'll more than likely to bring on. And if we can name, 7 subs these days? I just don't see why we don't get them on the bench, the youngsters. Going back to your question about Junior Tienza, left back, because what he needs is, they all need experience of being in that dressing room, being around the first team. Even if they don't get on, it'll just to get changed and get on the bench, it will make a massive difference to them. Just to be around it, just to feel accepted and just to sort of get in with their surroundings. It will make a massive difference. So, yeah, Junior Tienza is a very good left back. Threw him in at left back tomorrow, I think you could see him struggle because, as I always refer back to, I used to very highly rate Noah Chesney, and I used to get frustrated when it was around the Tony Craig era, when Tony Craig kept getting in and he was sort of coming to the end and we was like, come on, why is Tony Craig still playing? And that was at the point when we was in League One and we was in that weird cup where you play the other teams under 23 teams. Remember that? And the teams would be like 10 fans. It was called like the EFL Cup. I don't know what it was. But anyway, you saw Chesney play a few games and he looked very good. But then he left Millwall, went to Colchester, didn't get a kick, and now he's playing for Mason United. And he stuck one in the stanchion the other week. I saw it. Do it. I was literally, people saying I need a shower. I was actually in the bath for an hour before I did this because I was trying to wake myself up. Right. Any more? Stephen Stock says we definitely need a left back and another half decent forward. Yeah, I think Murray Wallace did fine against Saturday. Murray Wallace, as I've said a million times, he's very unorthodox. Okay, he looks very cumbersome. He's a unit. He doesn't look majorly comfortable. I think if you saw Murray Wallace walk down the street, he might not look the most comfortable person in the world. He's very trim. He's in very good shape, but he's just he looks more suited to be like a rugby player. So he's fucking massive, the geezer. He's got a big fucking back. But he does well for us. But I do, Steve, I know what you're saying. And with Gary Rowett coming in saying he wants to take this club into the Premier League, which is, I'm sure, annoys that every manager that gets a job in a championship likes to make. It does make you really look forward to thinking how much money he's going to get to spend in January. The players we've got, as I said, look, Fergie, Murray Wallace, a few of them, they're good. Yeah, they're good. Williams, I've always liked Williams, but he's not getting any younger. And if we got the money to break the bank and get a few, I'd get in a left back, a central midfielder, and another centre forward. So, yeah, definitely, if we can get the funds, other left backs to look at would be fantastic. But for now, I don't think left back's our biggest problem. I'd say here's a question for the people watching, and I'll read some of the answers. What do you think our biggest problem is? If where are we? Oh, fuck's sake! Where are we weakest? What's our weakest point in the team? Left back, right back, goalkeeper, centre forward. What do you think? If you could replace one player in one position, where do you think we are weakest? Millwall KP. Yeah, William Wallace agrees. Says Neil Harris left before it got ugly, really. Good guy. Here we go. Any more questions? A lot of you having a chat amongst yourself, which is good. Oh, I'm steaming up with glasses on. I won't gonna lie to you. Lots and lots of questions. Oh, there's fucking millions of questions. Oh my god. Simon Allura says, "Do I think Yuri Skalak will get a look in?" Yuri Skalak. There was something doing the rounds the other day. I don't know if people see it. If they didn't see it, I'm not going to show you it. Apparently, what the players are on wages wise, obviously, and as we all know, it's no secret. Apparently, Yuri Skalak is allegedly on a lot of wages. He fucking got a big red Ferrari. Apparently, Yuri Skalak got promoted with Brighton. His show reel is no joke. All right, show reel, if you've got a good edit, it can always look good. That's sort what they're there for. It's there to promote people. But Skalak's got a brilliant delivery. I was really rooting for him this second time round when he came back and it looked like he was going to get a chance. He did get a chance, and then he got injured at Fulham. I just don't think it's going to happen for Yuri Skalak. I just don't think it's going to happen for him at this club. He played for the under-23s when they won 3-0 last Monday against Bristol City at Calmont Road. Obviously, again, behind closed doors, so I couldn't tell you how he played, but I know he got a full game under his belt because the club posted it. And I would love to see him come back in. I'd love to see him come back in, and which means we can put Jed more central. Or even then, Jed on the left, just because he likes to cut in. That might not be a bad thing. But I just don't think it's going to happen for Skalak at the club. I just really, really don't think it's going to happen for him. So, yeah, I seem to keep forgetting that he even exists or he's even at the club. Where will he go? I don't know. This is the problem. We need to try and persist with him because, as I said, he's on a lot of fucking money and he's tied into a contract. Neil Harris brought him in. When Neil Harris brought him in, he said, "This is the one we wanted. This is the one we wanted." Before, he was my first choice before Ben Marshall. It's Ben Marshall. I'm that guy, by the way, Ben Marshall. Fucking hell. But yeah, Skalak's not going to go out on loan. No one's going to buy Skalak. So we've got to try and get the best out of him. And if he can get back in, it would be nice. Do I think it will happen? No. Some people say, should we talk about Jordan Archer? Yeah, fuck it. Let's talk about it. Jordan Archer. Some people saying he's training with Aston Villa. I remember once when I was a kid, my mate played for Arsenal, right? He played for the same son. We played for Long Lane together as kids, and we played for the district and all that. And then he was my best mate growing up. Jamie Day, his name is, if you know him. He's now actually manager out in an Asian national side. I can't think which one it is. When I played for Arsenal, went for he came in and playing Welling United manager. Anyway, I went to watch him with my dad at London Colney, the old Arsenal training ground, which I now believe is Watford's training ground. And when we got there, we watched him. And it was on when was it on? It was on a Saturday morning. It must have been on a Saturday morning. And at Arsenal's training ground was the whole Newcastle team. Now, you might be wondering where I'm going with this with the Jordan Archer question, because sometimes I do veer off, especially when I'm feeling like I am now. The whole Newcastle team were at Arsenal's training ground. Shearer, I think Asprilla was there. It's about like 1995, 94, something like that it was. And it blew my mind. It blew my mind. I couldn't believe it. I said to my dad, why are they here? This is Arsenal's training ground. And then, obviously, being now a man, knowing what I know, and used to work on for Svingy, Soccer AM, going around the training grounds doing the drill. Some players that can happen. Archer, what I'm getting at is just as Archer was training there, he was training at Southend the other week. If he's up that way, or players can go in. Sometimes a player might go in, needs a bit of fitness, and if he's, say, for example, if he's away from home and he's staying in a hotel during the week and playing for a club down in London, but he's from up north, then he might, if he's injured, or he might get a little bit of days training in at a club where he used to play, where he lives. He's weird like that. But yeah, just because Archer was training at Aston Villa, it doesn't mean anything. Listen, he's not going to be fucking signing for Aston Villa. Not unless they fucking need someone to suit the dressing rooms. I'm sorry. He hasn't got a club and he won't get one. I've told you for 2.5 years, he will end up playing non-league. And John O'Mara still won't have it, John, if you're watching. I look like I'm going to die. This is shocking. Millwall KP. Pearce is shit. Hutchinson is much better. KP was on fire Saturday, by the way, and his fan cam. Get on that if you haven't already. Camille KP. Fucking, I forgot your name, mate. Sorry. Kian Prince, or Kenneth Prawn, as we like to call him at Lions TV. Kenneth, you're saying that Pearce is shit and Hutchinson is better. Pearce isn't shit, I wouldn't say. So my eyes are hurting now. Pearce isn't shit, not by a long stretch. Alex Pearce, someone summed up very well to me. I'm not sure who it was, but I can't remember. My mate said to me, Alex Pearce is a talker and a leader. Sean Hutchinson is a player. Then there's a difference. Pearce is very good, very vocal, but Hutchinson is a better defender without an absolute doubt, in my opinion. And I think, again, it's human nature, but also people are very quick to forget that, I said it before, when at the start of the season, am I going to blow my own trumpet here? I am. I'm going to blow my own trumpet. If you look back at what I said about the players at the start of the season and the team that's now playing, it all happens. What I say should happen, happens. Not every time. I backed Bradshaw. I said Bradshaw's going to be the main man. I said you wouldn't get 10 goals out of Matt Smith and John Daly combined. That's going to happen as well. I said Hutchinson should be in instead of Pearce all day long. I got shit for that, quite a lot of shit. Oh, what are you saying that for? I'm saying it because Hutchinson, another one that came to the club, looked like it wasn't going to work out for him. When Sean Hutchinson came to the club, he'd already been struggling with injuries, and that's maybe why he didn't reach his full potential in his career at first. And he came to us and he got injured, having already been slightly injury prone, then got injured. We was like, fuck's sake. Then he came back and he broke down again away at Peterborough. That night we lost 5-1. He had to come off again. And he looked like he was done. He managed to turn it around, get fit, and he ended up being Millwall captain and getting player of the year in the season. The first season back in the Championship, we finished 8th in player of the season. And Jake Cooper next to him, his central defensive partner, young player of the season. Then Hutch he randomly cut his leg on the bins, didn't he? And he was ill. He wasn't well, the boy. So a few other problems. I'm not sure what. I won't delve into that. Oh, someone just put something off the No One Likes This website. Hashtag pay me. Yeah. So, and then he got injured, and then Pearce comes in. Look, listen, it is human nature. Then Alex Pearce comes in at a time when we were struggling and made captain, a leader, saw us safe. And that then moves to the forefront of people's mind, doesn't it? Because it's a more recent memory than the Sean Hutchinson one. But yeah, Pearce isn't as good as Hutchinson. I'm sorry, he isn't. He's not shit. I mean, he's very good. He's a leader on the pitch. But absolutely, KP, I'm with you 50-50. I don't think Pearce is shit. He's a good leader. As I said, I'm hearing he had a big part to playing Gary Rowett getting the job. He had nothing but good things to say about Rowett when he was approached. Whether they thought, why, do you think he's a good man for the job? And Pearce fully backed Gary Rowett. He might change his mind after not getting selected Saturday. No, of course he won't. It's more about the starting 11. And Hutchinson is better though, mate, in my opinion. I do agree. Oh, look at this. This is a nice comment from Rocky Dog 6. Hi, Dan. Thank you for a great TV service you provide for us, Lions TV fans living abroad. Lions fans living abroad. Thank you so much. You're welcome, mate. I'm sorry I look the way I do tonight. I just can't help it. Billy Mitchell not ready. Needs to go out on loan. Look how good McNamara is doing. Yeah, mate, that is a very, very good shout. Danny McNamara is a player I've seen a lot of Danny McNamara for the under-23s. And don't forget, he's very young. So a couple of seasons ago as well, he would have been even younger. You could see he was very slight and sort of not fully developed yet as a man, not just as a player. And he's absolutely flying at Newport. And him and Tom King are doing bits down there. And again, you're saying put him out on loan. It's a good point, and it's a tough decision to make. Put him out on loan. He needs to be doing something, Billy Mitchell. He needs to be playing and running, being a leader for the under-23s and being captain, or he needs to be in and around the first team and getting on the bench. Not doing either like he did last week is no good to him. He didn't kick football competitively last week. So, and that was down to the club, obviously the Cardiff situation. Put him out on loan could do him a favour, but then that could take him away from the Millwall ethos, the Millwall structure. And again, George Alexander, another one. People go and stick George out on loan. George will be playing, I know the under-23s is the under-23s effectively, but you can play overage players, I think up to 4 or 5, can't you, in that division. So he will come up against some big, hard, experienced pros along the way, George. And he also, don't forget the 23s, a lot of the teams in that are Premier League sides. So he'll be getting tested well every week, George Alexander. scoring goals every week. So why would you want to change that? I know your question, wasn't about George Alexander. It was about Billy Mitchell. But I'm using him and those two. I look at those two as being the level above the rest of the under-23s. Not that the rest of the under-23s are bad players by any stretch, but they're the two on the cusp, and they're the two on the verge of the of the first team. And George Alexander taking him out the under-23s and sending him out on loan. He's scoring goals every week for the under-23s. He's getting tested. He's still in and around the club. He's learning the right way. And yeah, if you sent either of them out on loan, George Alexander in particular, I know your question wasn't about George Alexander. If he goes out on loan and doesn't stop scoring goals, that's no good for his confidence. It's no good for his development. So it is a tough decision, though. And Billy Mitchell out on loan, George Alexander out on loan, it's a decision I wouldn't like to make, and a decision you'd only know would work when you've tried it. I'd love to see him in and around the first team and Junior Tienza. So if we can get safe early, which looking at the league table, I was thinking the other day, oh, hang on, could be safe here, early doors. Wouldn't it be lovely if we could get safe very early? Sort of 10 games to go, we're safe. That'd be fucking amazing. And then we can get them boys in, start giving them game time, like we did on the last day of the season at Wigan last year, because that's the only time we could risk to do it. So if we can get safe early, I'd absolutely love to see a few of the boys start getting into the fold. It's a difficult one because we're not a team that's going to be predominantly like massively comfortable in the division. You know what I mean? If we're at the top end of it, we're going to be pushing for promotion, like any team. So you don't want to like bring your youngsters in when you're flying, but you don't want to bring your youngsters in when you're struggling either, because that's going to be no good to them or the team. So if we can find that happy medium, get safe 12th, 15th, and just be safe 10 games to go, I think you could then see George Alexander, Billy Mitchell, and maybe even Tienza getting a little run here and there, a little 10 minutes being in and around the bench and the squad. But for now, it is a risky business. And look, picking up results 2-0 home to Stoke on Saturday is no joke, is it? So they're going to struggle to get in and around it at the minute. Bins on, question time. Surprised Kevin Braniff didn't come on. Charlie Mummery says, if you was Rowlett, what formation would you play? I actually answered that question earlier in the thing. Henry Rowley says, am I going Charlton? Yes, of course I am. Simon Amora says, are you saying you don't rate Smith or Daddy? Look, it's still early in the season. No, you know. You should know by now, 14 games in. I can't give the excuse you should know player. Do I not rate Matt Smith or do I not rate John Daly Bavardson? Look, Matt Smith scored goals in this division, and I think Neil Harris brought in thought, fuck me, there's my new Steve Morrison. He is good as an impact sub. Fuck me, West Brom, I was absolutely singing his praises. He'd come on, I've never seen anything like a performance he put in against West Brom. He's very effective. He's a very effective footballer if utilised correctly. There you go, I'm starting to wake up a bit now. Do I rate him? In what sense? I'm not saying he's a... Listen, Matt Smith has been in and around football a long time. He scored goals. You can't say he's not effective. Do I rate him? In what sense? Do I rate him as being good enough to start for our first team? No. John Daly Bavardson, do I rate him to be good enough to start for our first team? No. Would any other club in this division sign either one of those players? No. Will either one of those players as centre forwards score double figures this season? No. Even if those playing every week? No. Do I mind having them at the club? No. Throw Smith on last 10 minutes. If we need a point, throw him on then. Bavardson. Would John Daly Bavardson be a very, very, very good League One player? Yes. But I don't not rate them. I think they show... I think Daddy's one that can go on if we're blowing, we need a breather, we want to shit the ball up into corners and let him chase into corners and hold the ball up and be clever with it. I think he can do that. I said he's got no pace. John Daly Bavarson's one of them strikers. He's not like... Put him in a category. Matt Smith, target man. Tom Bradshaw, goal scorer. Plays off a big man. Pacey, in and around, poacher. John Daly Bavardson, what would you say he is? I'd say he's Icelandic. I'd say he's clever on the ball. He's not a bad footballer, but he's not a starter for me. Neither of those players, to answer your question, are good enough to start in our first team. But I don't mind having them in and around the squad. And come on, Martin Roberts, nice hoodie. You know it, mate. We've done a bit of business today, didn't we? #pay us. Is that the questions? Oh, no, it's not. George Savile. Joe, I just see that comment. Joe, someone's just put in George Savile. Yes, George Savile. A lot of people I know want George Savile back at the club. A lot of people that know a lot about football that I know want George Savile back at the club. I'm not including myself in that bracket because I do claim to know a lot about football. But no, I just don't think it would work. I don't think the fans would accept him again after he obviously left us for Middlesbrough. Look, it's football, it's a business. I don't hold anything against George Savile for going. I just don't understand why he did it. Middlesbrough struggling but like bad at the minute. Pulis actually bought him, and now Woodgate's the manager. Is he still the manager? I might have been sacked by now because they are struggling. George Savile, would you have Savile back? Would you want him back? Yes or simple yes or no will do. I can understand why, because he's a very, very good player. A very good player. And he was one of them players that was good, yes, but I didn't realise how much I was going to fucking miss him until he went. Him and Williams in that season, obviously first season back in the champ, were fucking phenomenal. And he played a good role in helping us press high without doing a lot, because he just stayed high. He just stayed high, and you used to get Morrison and Gregor's dinging out to the fullbacks, and George Savile would just sit in that little hole there, and somebody picked the ball up. And he's another one. He wasn't the paciest of players, was he? He looked quite lazy and lackadaisical on the ball. Lackadaisical, fuck me, have that. But yeah, we miss him. We did miss him, but to have him back now after he left us from Middlesbrough, the second coming, it could be a Ben Marshall situation all over again, couldn't it? It could be like that. If he come back, it'd have to be obviously would it be a loan? Wouldn't be a permanent move, would it? It'd have to be a loan because we're not going to buy him. Would they pay for him? 7-8 million from us? So yeah, I don't know. For me, George Savile, I can understand why people. This answer the question because I fucking don't stop talking, do I? I don't talk as much as fucking Lee Chitty, by the way. Jesus Christ, that guy can chat. My ears are still ringing from Saturday night. To answer the question, George Savile, would I have him back personally? No, I wouldn't. But I can understand why people would want him back. Question time. Ryan Loftus. Okay, Ryan Loftus is the guy who's doing bits on Twitter. So when Lions TV first started, I used to love it because you could see everyone retweeting it and saying it's brilliant. Oh, I love this. Oh, obviously now it's shit because no one retweets it anymore. No, obviously that original wave dies down a bit, doesn't it? So, but this guy is having what I had when my channel first started. There's a real buzz about. Oh fuck me, I know your name. Your name's Ryan, but I can't. Ryan Loftus, your name is. I've lost your question now. But Ryan is doing very good reviews on Twitter. I'll be honest. I retweet it every week because I can see people love it, and he's getting a lot of love and a lot of respect for his articles. I don't read them because I don't read anything because I'm thick. That's why I do YouTube. I don't read anything. So sorry, mate, but I do respect the amount of love you're getting. That's why I got a lot of time for you, and I'm retweeting all your stuff. And your question, I've lost in the carnage that is the timeline. But what's it called? A shout was probably better, wasn't it? Vicky Davis. I know you. How you doing, Vicky? I met you and the legend is Trevor at Middlesbrough Way. Didn't I met you there? How long will the new manager last? Hopefully a long time. And I'll have to eat my words about Gary. Is it Rowett? Joe O'Mara likes to say Rowett. I say Rowett. Don't know which it is. But whatever it is, whichever way you want to pronounce his surname, let's hope we're pronouncing it and having a debate about it for a very long time so we can keep hold of him, because look, I'm not saying he wasn't my first choice. It didn't excite me, the thought of him coming here. But it wasn't my last choice. He was just the third choice of the three that was getting mentioned. Hold my hands up. I made a mistake on that one. It looks like I don't know. When I saw the pictures of him in the job, first day, saw him like there with the little V-neck on the tie. I looked at that picture and I just went, yeah, I'm having him now. I like it. I like what he just looked right as the Millwall manager. I know it might sound weird to people, and then the club put out an interview with him. And this frustrates me with the club. I'm not slagging the club off because I know you're watching. they put out a fucking very good 15-minute interview with Gary Rowett, whatever you want to call him. It was really good. It was really well shot. It was really well structured. Little upshot, with blind behind. If you're looking at from a production side, like I do, it was very good. I loved the interview, and I sat like enthralled. I was. That's another big word tonight. I watched the whole interview, 15 minutes long when he first got the job. It was brilliant. Why don't you do more stuff like that, Millwall Football Club? If you may be watching, do more stuff like that. It's good. We need more of that. Yeah, but no, from his interview as well, Gary Rowett, he just come across really well. Says the right things. I've never had a problem with him being the manager. I've never said he's a bad manager. His record speaks for himself. It didn't work out for him at Stoke, as we know, and he spent a lot of money that players that didn't really pan out. Some of them actually played Saturday, didn't they? Tom Mintz. But listen, he's not going to have that problem at Millwall, so let's not worry about that. He ain't going to have a lot of money to spend. That's one headache he won't have to tackle managing our club. The only issue I have with Gary Rowett is his longevity and his desire to want to stay at our football club. He either does very well when someone else comes in for him and he goes. Make no mistake, he goes straight away. There's no will he, won't he, with like the situation you might have had with Neil Harris if he had gone on to keep doing fantastically well. Well, would Harris leave? Because if Gary Rowett does well when a club comes in, he'll be gone. The first sniff of a bigger job, Gary Rowett will be out the fucking door. So we're in a little bit of a catch-22 because we want him to do well. We need him to do well. But if he does, he'll be gone. I'm telling you now, he'll be gone. But I think Gary Rowett may be, listen, that's my opinion. I may be wrong. And Gaffer, if you're watching, because I know you will clock on at some point, welcome to Lions TV. He had a long time out of football. He had like sort of 9 months out, and he said he learned from his mistakes and he becomes a better manager for that. I think now, look, football managers don't last long at any club. That's just the nature of the beast these days. I think he needs to look at previous experiences and go, I'm on a good thing here. It's working for once, and let's continue with the club we're at. But unfortunately, Vicky, to answer your question, how long will he last? That will be governed by how long he wants to stay. There you go. That's the answer to that one. I don't think he'll do too bad. We'll sack him. So the only way I think he'll go is if he gets a better job. I will be surprised if Gary Rowett is our manager for longer than 2 seasons. That's all I'm going to say. One way or the other. I'm not saying he'll leave. I'm not saying he'll get sacked. I just can't see him being a 5. I mean, look, you don't get, as I said just a minute ago, you don't get many 5-year managers in the game anymore. There is no Alex Ferguson's. There is no Arsene Wenger's these days. Is there? Neil Harris, upon getting didn't get sacked. Don't disclaimer. Upon leaving Millwall Football Club, was the current longest-serving manager in the division. So, I'm going to pull that closer, and I realise what I look like, so better not. So, yeah, Gary Rowett, how long will a manager last? I'd be surprised if he is here for longer than 2 years, and I don't mean that disrespectfully or in a nasty way. I just think he might do a good job, and if someone comes in, you've got to bear in mind as well the logistics of where he's from and where he lives. He's got a missus, obviously. I don't know if they've got children, but he's from the Midlands. He has always played in the Midlands. He's not from the Midlands. He's actually, where's he from, Gary Rowett? Is he from? I'm sure he's from around the Midlands somewhere. But look, regardless of where he's born, he has played his whole career pretty much in the Midlands and managed in the Midlands. He's Stoke the Midlands. The rest of them are Birmingham, Burton. And what was the other one he managed? Can't remember. But yeah, we shall see, Vicky. Thanks for the question. Chazza Richardson, they've held your... Charlie, you're so aggressive. I love it. They've held your comment for review, Charles. I don't know what Henry Rowley said, but he's upset you. You told him to fuck off. Yeah, we'll show that. Kenny Draper. Dan, how can Rowett penetrate the team to succeed? That's a little private joke with the Lions TV boys, that. But Saturday, Lee Chitty turned up, and I've never seen a more drunk man. I've never seen a more drunk man that can talk so much while so drunk. And he was like a machine. King couldn't get a lot of words in, but when he did, he just kept using the word penetrate in a sentence to Lee, and Lee didn't clock on that Kenny had said it about 50,000 times by the end of the night. Danny Giles. Dan, you're inspiring the nation with the passion. But come on, we know you love a cheeky bubble bath. I did have a bubble bath earlier. I'm inspiring the nation, I'll say that. Oh, Mill, yeah, someone commented on Mill KP on the video saying it's out of all the slagging Gregory off. He didn't mean it. It was just a little bit of, you was merely jesting, wasn't you, Kenneth Prawn? We love Gregory. Loved him even more when he fucking done that fresh air shot and completely missed on Saturday, which was quite Lee Gregory-esque, unfortunately, don't like to say for Gregors. Menro 1. Have we got a good left back at the under 23s? Yes, we've done that, mate. Earlier on, Junior Tienza. Chazza Richardson says Rowett will put Harris to shame. Okay. He might put him to shame in the way that we play football. But Gary Rowett has got a very, very difficult job because people may laugh at this or may question it. But if you go on and look at statistically who is the most successful Millwall manager of all time win ratio, Neil Harris is up there. I think he actually is top. It's so yes, we're not pretty to watch, but a little bit like me. I'm ugly, but I get results. If you was out with me a little weekend, you'll know what I'm talking about. Yeah. And he got the results, Neil Harris. He got the results. So, yes, it wasn't pretty to watch, Char. I know what you mean. Gary Rowett, we're going to start popping the ball now. And people are going to go, the players do this. Like Kenny said again, we had the ability to play like we played Saturday for the whole fucking time Neil Harris was in charge, but we didn't. We did at points. But Rowett will put Harris to shame in a way that we'll pop the ball. We'll do nice things under Rowett. We'll do the right things. Like I like to personally watch, do the right things on the ball. I like to watch football played in the right way, and Gary Rowett will play that way. But if he put it this way, if he beats Neil Harris's win ratio and percentage, he'll end up the most successful Mill manager of all time, and that is something I'd love to see. Do I think it will happen? Ooh. Look, I honestly think the way the club's going moving forward, I think they want to. Everyone's got aspirations and hopes of getting better. I think the club want to get in the Prem. I think that can happen. I think it can happen if Husky by the club, and then Rowett could be very successful, especially if you give him funds, as long as you don't fucking buy James McLean like I did before. Prick. Questions. Harry Mitchell. Good question, mate. This is a problem that I fear. Your question is, do you think... Have I got too far away from the mic there? Sorry. Harry Mitchell, your question is, do you think Bradshaw will carry on with this form? If he does, will a bigger club come sniffing for him? Tom Bradshaw. It's a good question. Will Bates says, where's Elliot gone? I don't know. I fucking forgot he existed. Good question. Let's get back to Harry Mitchell's question, which was, do you think if Bradshaw carries on scoring a lot of goals, a bigger club's going to come sniffing? I am worried about that. Tom Bradshaw is what, 26 years old, I think? Done his cruciate ligament, obviously, as we know. So players, in this day and age, players do come back strong as they was before with surgeries and stuff nowadays. Back when I was in my teens, that would end the player's career. We wouldn't play again no more after that. I think it was Paul Gascoigne did the first time people heard about snapping cruciate ligaments, first time I heard about cruciate knee ligaments and what they were, was when Gazard done the foul on Gary Charles in the FA Cup final. 1991? Was it? Something like that? And until then, no one even really knew what a fucking cruciate ligament was, and that it used to end players' careers. But Bradshaw's come back from that, not as strong. He's come back fucking stronger than ever. He does the right things. I used to praise Gregory. Oh, Gregory's brilliant. Oh, he don't score, but he does a lot of work. And really, I'm going to hold my hands up now. All your centre forward's got to do is score goals. That's all you want. I'll go back to my Sunday side. I caught my centre forward taking a throw on Sunday. We played 4-4-1-1. And I've done my bollocks at him, Toby McLean, if you're watching. I don't think you will be. What is a centre forward? Is a centre forward. He scores goals. You stay central, you score goals. And that's what Tom Bradshaw does. You can't... Gregory was brilliant at running the channels, but it ain't really what you want from your centre forward, is it? And we used to take the hit and accept Gregory not scoring as many goals and missing a few chances in the Championship because of his work rate. But Tom Bradshaw plays it right. A centre forward needs to be not lazy, but he needs to play central, use his brain and explode when need be, stay in the right areas. And that's what Tom Bradshaw does. And I can't see, injuries side, please don't let that happen, a way that Tom Bradshaw's going to stop scoring goals. He's sharp as fuck. in and around the box, and he can finish. And that's all. Michael Owen was not a good footballer. You're going to go, what? Michael Owen was phenomenal. Obviously, a phenomenal footballer, centre forward, but a footballer. You wouldn't see him knock. He couldn't knock passes like Rooney could. He hasn't got tricks like Rooney had as a forward. But Michael Owen was in the right areas. He stayed central. He was fucking lightning quick, and he scored goals. And that's all you need to be as a centre forward. And that is why Tom Bradshaw. Yes, I am slightly shitting my pants that someone might come in from the slight. Look, money talks. Let's have it right. His scoring record wasn't fantastic before he got to Millwall. I remember looking into it on Wikipedia before we signed him, and it worried me really that his goal scoring record didn't look fantastic. But he's actually in the form of his life, which is brilliant. That injuries could have finished him, but mentally he must be very strong as well. So well done to Tom, because he's come back stronger than ever, better than ever, sharper than ever, quicker than ever, and he's scoring goals. So yes, I don't think January. I think what's it now? November. If you put it this way, if he scores 20 goals this season, there's going to be people sniffing. The money talks. Doesn't matter who you are, what you say. Money fucking talks. And if someone offers me 10 grand up the road, I will go and do another channel. No, fucking won't. I get enough grief for that already. No. If you're a professional footballer and you're getting 10 grand a week somewhere, and you get offered to go to a bigger club in a bigger city, fucking with another 10 bags on top of a week, thanks for coming, you're gone. It doesn't matter. The only slight cushion we've got there is Tom Bradshaw wanted to come to London. He wanted to be in London because his missus is from the area. And this is why he's now very happy and settled in the area, which is, I'm sure, reflecting on his game and why he's so happy and he's doing well. He's happy in his personal life, and that helps. He got his range back, by the way. You saw that. Got his range back. Well done, Tom. Pleased for you. Probably not the most sensible move to repost it on Instagram, though, saying he's having my baby's back and getting cleaned up. Don't park in Dartford, mate. Anyway, that can happen. Surprised there any wheels left on it. Michael Heisman says Smith needs the ball crossed in from the flanks to be effective. Not long ball. He will score goals from crosses, but for me, he's not mobile enough. Yes, good question. Well, it wasn't really a question. You're saying, look, Smith can score goals, but he needs the right balls into the box, which is very, very true. And he is coming towards the end of his career. And he can be effective if used correctly, but we don't get that many crosses in, do we? As I said, Fergie couldn't get down the wing Saturday because he can't get past people. And Jed's crosses are a bit more whipped at pace. Corners is where he predominantly scores from. Now, I don't know why this grates on me a little bit. Fergie was taking the corners Saturday, definitely in the second half, because I was focusing on it. Sean Williams needs to take the corners for it to be effective for Matt Smith and Jake Cooper. Jake Cooper hasn't scored a goal this season because Fergie will whip it. Fergie does take a nice corner. I'm not knocking Fergie's corners. And Jed will maybe whip it from the other side. You need to hang it up. Sean Williams does the lovely floater, hangs up absolutely perfectly. And obviously, fucking, what is it? Fucking gravity, it's mathematics. Matt Smith and Jake Cooper, the tallest men on the pitch, they will be there first as it drops out the sky. So he does need the right sort of service. But again, for me, not a starter. I'm not slagging Matt Smith off. He is effective for us. He has scored goals for us. But I think since Neil Harris left, Adam Barrett come in, didn't play him for the first two games. He started him on did he play him? He didn't play him against Leeds. He didn't play him against Brentford. And then we lost, didn't we? No, we lost the home game. I can't remember. Fucking my head's gone. But anyway, he played up front in a 4-4-2 with Tom Bradshaw, and it didn't work. He's not a starter for me anyway. That's basically what I'm fucking getting at. I know what I mean. Oh, Henry Rowley, you were saying George Savile, and that may have been what caused Charlie Richardson to tell you to fuck off. Squeaky floorball, sorry. I can't sit here for over an hour, boys and girls, and it's sweating not to fart, so. Tony Comley says, I've got a wheelbarrow in my shed missing its wheel, and it's more mobile than Matt Smith. Oh, dear. Dan Poor says, Rowett to mentor Adam Barrett so he can be our manager when Rowett leaves. Fucking hell, you heard it here first. Danny, I hope you're wrong. Nothing against Adam Barrett, because if you go back about a week in my videos, I was saying he should have got a job, but there you go. That can happen with me. Change my mind now. So I want. No. Do you know what the thing I've noticed though with Rowett coming in? We obviously had Harris and Livermore. Harris and Livermore left, and then obviously they've been replaced by Gary Rowett and Callum Davison, who looks a little bit like Slough out of the Goonies. If you're watching, assistant manager. Don't know why I said that a bit out of order, but there you go. It's done. But so that's the 2 in, 2 out, 2 in. But we've also kept Adam Barrett, and we've got this other guy who looks a little bit like an older version of Ryan Leonard with long hair. I don't know who he is. He's can't think of his name. He's the technical coach. So Rowett's before you used to see Harris in the dugout, and you had Livers with a fucking earpiece on the clipboard, didn't you? And we did always look a little bit light in the dugout, but now there's a lot of people in and around it, and I think it's good. As I said, we've now got manager, assistant manager, and 2 first-team coaches. So it's very, very good. It's very, very good. It's what's it called? So say more hands in the pot. Then is that what it means? Is that right saying? Right term? There's more people there. There's more people to bounce off. You got your army's bigger in it, and there's more ideas getting thrown around. It's not just should we ship it long this week, Livers? Yes, let's do that, and over again. So yes, I don't think he's going to mentor Adam Barrett to be our next manager. I think the ex-players of ours being managers will leave. We'll leave that for a while. We've experimented with that, and it worked very well. We enjoyed it, but the emotional ties that came with, I don't think any of us really liked. Did we? Whether it was Harris in or Harris out, I don't think the emotional ties that Neil Harris having the job brought with it. It was tough, wasn't it? It was a good talking point for me as doing the channel, but I think an outsider coming in completely now, we won't hold back on any faults we do have. It won't cloud our judgment, shall we say? Fucking hell, it's an hour and 6 minutes. Oh, I'm fucking so tired. Oh, fuck. Talk to myself. Right, an hour and 6 minutes, but I was going to wrap it, but we've gone from 175 people watching to 225, so the numbers are still rising, so I don't mind doing another 10 minutes or so. Hang on, who's this? It was Kenny on the group chat, Lions TV group chat, just asked Lee how penetrated he was on Saturday. Lee Chitty was fuck mad Saturday if you'd have seen him. Took the Lions TV boys out Saturday, didn't I? For to the Elton Terrace Club, one of our sponsors. We had a night out there, and I did put Charlie Richardson. By the way, I saw your comment on Facebook. I did put my card. Well, I didn't put card behind the bar. I put Stone Cold Cash behind the bar. # pay me. Yeah, the boys had a good night. We had a good night there. Watched the boxing. Lee Chitty was so lagging. It is fucking brilliant. Well, it wasn't at the time. It wasn't at the time. It was my ears were ringing. But after the next day on reflection, good night, boys. Enjoyed it. It was good. The Lions TV family grows and gets stronger by the fucking day. What about that? Oh. MC, you are a legend, Dan. Fuck me. I've got 10 comments slagging me off there. Good. What a shock I found the good one. What's this bit of hair doing here? That? Vicky Davis, do you play Football Manager or FIFA 20 for PlayStation? Let's have a little chat about it. Let's get a bit lighthearted now. Yes, I played computers when I was a kid, up till I was about 20. And then I discovered going out, getting pissed and meeting women. Clubs, stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? So I stopped really. But obviously now I have children and mini-me's all over the new FIFA that's just come out, FIFA 20. So he said, let's do a career mode. We started a career mode. I don't know why. He chose, we was going to be Stoke. So we were Stoke City in the career mode. We don't like to be Millwall. We like to try and build another team up. We played this career mode for about 5 weeks. We got fucking sacked. And I was like, well, what happens now? He's like, well, you got to start a new game. Like, that's a waste of 5 weeks of my life. So, yeah, I'm not playing that no more because then we was going to restart. He wanted to be a team in the MLS. I said, I'm not being a team in the MLS. I said, let's get a team from League Two into the Prem. And we couldn't agree on it. So we're currently at loggerheads with no career mode and one managerial sack into our name. So no more FIFA 20 for me. Yeah, Richard Wheatley says, if Bradshaw stays fit, he'll get 20. It's very, very refreshing to see. I love looking on the Sky Sports because I sit indoors most days doing fuck all. When it comes down in each division, each table on the right-hand side on Sky Sports, just on every day, and it says like league top scorers. It's so refreshing to see a Millwall player in there. It is really nice to see that, and I think you'll definitely, like I'm saying this score 20 goals a season when he can, unless he starts shooting like Lee Gregory did last season. I'm burying Gregors now. I'm only joking. But unless he starts shooting like Tom Elliott, who I don't know what the fuck happened to him, by the way, then there's no reason. If he stays fit, Bradshaw just does the right, simple things. He knows his job as a centre forward. He scores goals. He stays central, and he takes his chances. There will be times when he will tail off, and he won't score as many. But I mean, like Saturday, I don't think even. Do you know? He didn't score Saturday. And I don't think, if memory serves me, he's a little bit twisted at the minute, my memory. But I don't think he had a chance Saturday. So if you get the chances, I'm just confident he'll score the goals. Charlie MFCO5, thoughts on Frank Fielding when he returns? It's all going off in Bexley. Thoughts on Frank Fielding when he returns? My thoughts on Frank Fielding. I thought he was very good pre-season. I liked Frank Fielding a lot. Bristol City fans were saying he was all right, but his kicking weren't great. Other people were saying, oh, he's going to go to Plymouth. He ain't no good for us. I thought he was very good, and it's a shame he popped his freak injury, popped his quad like he did the first game of the season. Bulkowski, I shit myself every time the ball goes near Bulkowski, and I shouldn't. I think I'm just still setting my ways from so used to having Jordan Archer in goal, so having nightmares, waking up in cold sweats with poppadoms all over my pillows. I like Bulkowski. I still think he's got a couple of errors in him. I think you're going to see a few more, but he's done very well, Bart. You can't knock him. Frank Fielding will hopefully push him when he comes back. And obviously, we've got Luke still on loan. I'd like to see Luke still stay for a long-term contract, and for personal reasons. I can't tell you why. John Robertson says, keep the pens coming, and Jed gets 20. I think that is... I don't even know what that is, what you're saying. I think I've reached the bottom of the questions, have I? I think I have. Oh, no. Archie Compton, will Leonard improve and have a future at Rowett under the... Right, this is it. Fuck me, it's still rising, isn't it? No, it's not. Right, it's going to be... I might wrap this after this. I'm very, very tired now. I need to go to bed. Will Ryan Leonard have a future under Gary Rowett at Millwall? The answer to that question is no, I don't think he will. I don't rate Leonard. It's no secret. Harry Rowley, hello, you're at the bottom. What up, mate? Yes. Ryan Leonard, no, I don't think he has a future. A lot of the players have been rejuvenated under the new manager, it seems, instantly. One I'll refer back to, Marlon Kitson, he needs to be dropped. He absolutely doesn't need to be dropped. He plays like that every week, like he did on Saturday. And with Gary Rowett being a right back during his playing career, Marlon will be one of the people that will benefit most from Gary Rowett's tenure as our manager. Tenure, that's a good one. But will Ryan Leonard improve? Listen, it's not impossible, but I think we've seen Leonard for long enough now to know that he won't. Having said that, Neil Harris signed Ryan Leonard and said he's a box-to-box midfielder. He does this, he has an effect in both boxes, which he doesn't. But in his defence, when you're a midfielder and you're just doing this, you get neck ache for one, and two, you don't really get a chance to affect the game. That's why I said I think Williams is going to thrive now, because Gary Rowett likes to keep the ball. In the three-man midfield, there's no one better at the club to do that for you than Sean Williams. He played very well, Williams, Saturday, and I get a lot of shit for backing him all the time. He played very well. And yeah, so Brian Leonard succeed under Adam Barrett. I'm not ruling it out under Adam Barrett. Hashtag pay me. Ryan Leonard not to succeed under the new manager. I don't think he will. Sorry. But listen, again, I would love to get proven wrong. Billy Symes, if you're watching, by the way, mate, where you been? I'm missing you. I noticed you ain't been. Hope you're all right, mate, because I ain't seen you comment nothing lately. John Parr says, Malumbi, how much for him? I don't think it's going to be for sale, mate. This is a problem we're going to have. It's going to be a Darren Huckabee. It's going to be a Chris Wood situation all over again, a Ben Marshall situation all over again. You can see Malumbi doing well for us, and at the end of the season going, well, Brighton going, well, you want to buy him? And we'll go, yeah, okay. And then someone else will fucking gazump us. We all KP like the neck ache shot. You deserve an early night, Dan. Sleep well and get better. Oh, thank you. Well, I'm just hungover. It's self-inflicted then, but I will enjoy this early night tonight. Much love from Wild, South Wales. Okay, now look me up, girl. Williams is class. Unfortunately, getting on a bit. Yes, good. Michael Heisman agrees. I fully agree. Williams is getting on a bit. I think it's made him a better player. I think he's one of these players that's going to get better as he gets older. Like Teddy Sheringham just kept getting better as he got older. That was the first person that popped to my mind. Who else? Like, players that just seem to just to get better with age. And I think Williams does that. He's very experienced, and through playing more games, just gives you more experience and just makes you an even better player. Right. We're going to end it there. I mean, the reason we're going to end it there is this. The question we're going to end it on, well, it's not even a question, it's a comment. Lewis Wheeler, they've held it for review, mate, and we're going to show it because you just said, fucking hell, Dan, you look like a barrel of shit. Thank you, Lewis, and I absolutely and completely agree with you. What I did earlier, if you notice and you follow us on Instagram or Facebook or wherever I've posted it, I posted live stream tonight. I actually took it down because I felt so rough. I thought I can't do it. So I took the post down saying I was going to do a live stream. And I thought you can't do it. So they need their post match, especially as it's Gary Marrett's first game in charge. You're going to have to fucking battle it, big boy. So I had a lasagna. I went and laid in the bubble bath for an hour, blow dried my hair, put the No One Likes Us hoodie on, which everyone seems to like. Get on that, by the way. You've only got 3 days left for the free shipping in October thing before it runs out. Oh, I've got one more thing I want to say after this. And I knew you had to have your post-match analysis. So I know I look like shit. I'm sorry that you've had to look at this disgusting. I mean, I'm only a 9 out of 10 during the day. I've dropped to an 8 obviously now. But I wanted to do the post-match. Let's rephrase it. I really didn't want to do this post-match. I am struggling. I had a very busy, excitable weekend. I've started to go. I didn't go out for about 2 or 3 years really when I started this channel. Don't go out socially, and I'm just got the pub up the road now. I'm right getting back into enjoying my Sundays. I meal Saturday, coach the boys Sundays. Then we go and have a few drinks, and sometimes it gets out of hand. I got in at 3 o'clock this morning, but I'm enjoying that again. So don't take that away from me. I'm sorry I do look like shit, but I wasn't going to do this post-match because I felt so rough. So again, get the violins out because I've done it because I knew it's not very professional for one. Not that I don't get paid enough to be worrying about it at the minute, but yeah, I look like shit. I'm actually surprised I've done the video, but I've done it. Just finally, before we finish, I'm going to say one thing. This is a shout out. It's not a shout out. It's a call to arms. The burger van in Mercury Way, right by the Cold Blow Lane tunnel. The lovely gentleman and his wife that own that. I always have a chat with them, and I keep saying I'm going to shout them out. So they don't need to shout out. It's a lovely bit of grub. Ice cold drink sometimes for me and Mini Wee on the walk back to New Cross Station. What's happened to the light? And I always shout you out and always forget. They don't need to shout because they're always busy and they're good people and they do well. But if anyone has their contact details, can someone because they said this, I think they said their daughter watches the show. Their daughter commented, and obviously I don't always see all the comments because there's so many, it goes so quick. So if you know them, could you get in touch with me on social media? Because I want to have a chat with them. It's only good stuff for them. It's only good news. Could be a few quid in it for them. # pay them if you # pay me. So, yeah, if anyone knows them, could you get them to give me a shout on Instagram or on Facebook or on Twitter? If you inbox me if you know them, because I just want to have a chat with them. Might have a little bit of business for them. So, business is what we do at Lions TV. There you go. I've battled through 1 hour and 20 minutes, and there is still 202 people listening to this shit coming out of my mouth and the shit that they're looking at on the screen. So I must be doing something right. I will be back. We'll have a couple of days off now, I know. It could be a Lions Lounge this week, though. Andy Roberts has agreed to step into the Lions Lounge. So I'm going to try and meet up with Andy this week. I think he's local to us anyway. So 2 spells at Millwall. That should be good if I can pin him down this week. And the other 2 big ones this month are still coming. Martin Roberts, the one who's going to sort us out. What's happening with that one? And the other one is on. The biggest Lions Lounge of all time is on this month. Oh, no, it's supposed to be this month's nearly over, isn't it? It's on, trust me. I told you there's 2 massive ones, and there is. One of them is still 100% on, and it's massive. And I need to get that tied down. But there you go. Other than that, I will be back on Thursday for pre-match predictions and fan score predictions, and then the Rowett Revolution rocks up to Reading. 4 R's in one sentence on Saturday. and I will be there to see us take 3 points on the road for the first time this season. Gary Rowett, back-to-back wins, 6 points from 2 games, and we're off and running again away from home. I'm convinced we're going to do it Saturday, and I hope to see you there if you are going. Please subscribe to Lions TV. Come on, you Lions. Later. Bosh.